Hey guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic and welcome back to the channel. And today, if you guys, this is a different kind of video. It's going to be a Disney related video. So obviously, if you can tell, you probably can, I'm wearing the same effing shirt. Yeah, I'm not, it's not the only shirt I wear, but I'm filming a bunch of these videos in bulk to post while I'm in Disney World. My mom and I are going this year. Dad's staying home with Tanner. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm probably, when you're watching this, having a grand time. You know, I'm going to keep you guys up to date with the community tab, so make sure to watch for that. But yeah, so this kind of video is talking about the Haunted Mansion ride. I think it's one of the objectively best rides in all of Disney World or Disney lore. And yeah, I mean, this is a ride that I've loved ever since I was a kid, man. It's effing crazy. I used to be really scared of it as a kid. A little bit now, but no, I think it's a genuinely good ride, right? I mean, it's fun, it's funny, it's a little spooky, and it really is just it's a classic. I mean, what else can I say, you know? But I think that Disney has added, and this isn't really new news, but you know, I just kind of wanted to give my 2 cents on this, considering I'll be riding it. Or maybe when you're watching this video, I'm actually riding the ride. That'd be freaking crazy, right? But yeah, so the Haunted Mansion added a new animatronic, the Hatbox Ghost, right? That was in the California version. And of course, if you've seen the Haunted Mansion 2003 movie with Eddie Murphy, and the new, I think it's 2023, Haunted Mansion, which is actually a really great movie. I mean, it made no money and no one effing saw it, of course. But no, it's a really great film. If you haven't seen the newer Haunted Mansion film, it's awesome. But yeah, I think that the you know, the Hatbox Ghost is basically the villain in that film, and it's really cool that they decided to, you know, update this Florida ride with the Haunted Mansion with the Hatbox Ghost, right? It's cool, right? It's just the animatronic, and he's got the hat box, and his face kind of goes from his head to the box, right? And he kind of like goes, you know, sinks between the two, and it's really cool looking. It looks effing great. It's like, cool, what could go wrong, right? But the placement of the Hatbox Ghost in Florida, they basically broke their own canon. So the large consensus of the Haunted Mansion ride, right? You wouldn't think, for the layman out there, or the laywoman, whatever, most people, you know, either watch Disney rides on YouTube or they just ride them in the parks, and then they don't have any second thought, right? They're like, oh yeah, that was fun, and they move on with their day. But people, freaks like me, I should say, actually know that, yeah, like all the Disney rides have a canon or a lore or a specific story they're trying to tell. It's not just Haunted Mansion, you know, it's not just, oh, you get in the Doom buggy and you see ghosts and then it's over, right? Like, yeah, that's the stupid version of it, but if you actually pay attention, there is a story. There's a massive amount of lore and canon to this ride. And pretty much Pirates of the Caribbean, Space Mountain, Splash Mountain, you know, whatever. Even Figment has a lore. But it's really effing cool that they can do that, right? It's not just a fun, dumb ride and you, oh, that was cool, then you go on. But, you know, I'm not going to get into the whole lore, but one of the aspects of this ride is that when you board the Doom buggy and you actually, you know, get on the ride, you don't see ghosts. You do not see any ghosts at all. You see statues moving and books moving and, you know, busts, you know, head busts moving and all that, but you don't actually see any physical apparitions, right? Physical ghosts. Unless there's a real ghost on the ride, then you're pretty much screwed. But in terms of the animatronic ghosts, you really don't see a lot of them. And it's kind of crazy, right? Because it's like, all right, this is the established lore. Perfect, right? And then there's a moment in the ride where you kind of go down, right? Like you're in the attic and you see Constance Hatchaway or whatever, and then you kind of go out. It's signifying you pretty much falling out of the window, like this, you know, this I don't know, 2-story whatever house, and you basically, in the lore, it's pretty much, you know, in the world building, you fall to your death, pretty much. You effing die, right? We, the rider, we die, and we kind of see these hints, and that's why we can't see ghosts and all that, and we're kind of just, the first part of the ride is pretty terrifying, right? Or in theory, terrifying, because you don't see ghosts, and you know, you're taking this tour of this mansion, and you know, welcome foolish mortals to the Haunted Mansion, and you know, you hear the narration and all that. I could do that all day, and then, you know, you die pretty much, unless you like don't actually die when you ride, please, but you know, in theory, you die, right? You fall out the window, and that's when you go backwards in the ride, and then once you get to that spot in the ride, that's when you actually start to see the ghosts. That's when you see, you know, the caretaker guy with a scared thin dog, and they're shaking and all that. Now, obviously, the plot hole, how come they can see the ghosts? Well, either they can't, and they're just seeing shit move, or whatever, you know, but this is the large consensus canon, pretty much. You fall out the window, you die, and then you're able to see the ghosts, right? And then they're happy, and they're all singing and dancing and having a party, and it's more fun. It's not as terrifying, and they're not trying to scare you or even kill you anymore, because you're already dead. You're now a ghost with them. so you can party with them, right? That's the lore. But the way Disney effed this all up is they put the Hatbox Ghost in an area before you quote-unquote die. So they put the physical blue, concrete physical model animatronic of the Hatbox Ghost in an area before anyone, or before we as the rider are supposed to see any physical apparitions. And that's what's really effing dumb. They had like 1,000 places they could have put this freaking dude, and they decided to screw everything up and put him there. And trust me, the internet went bonkers when this got revealed. I went crazy. This isn't anything new, but I just wanted to give you guys my take, because yeah, it's kind of stupid, right? The ride is incredible. I love the world building and the atmosphere and the music. It's just it is a perfect ride, right? Like in terms of dark rides and Disney rides, Haunted Mansion is SSS tier. It's not my personal favorite, but it is, I want to say, an objectively perfect ride, right? There's really not much to improve upon besides the Hatbox Ghost, right? That was a good addition. They just happened to put him in the wrong place. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I think the lore is really, really cool for this ride. Obviously, Pirates of the Caribbean, basically, if you go to California versus Florida, obviously, the lore is going to change depending on the ride and whatnot. Splash Mountain, before all the people, he's racist, they freaked out. That was one of my favorite rides, and that had some really good lore as well, some good messaging to it. Hopefully I'll ride Tiana's Bayou Adventure. It is controversial. I'm not super enthralled because of what they did to my boy Splash Mountain, but I do want to try to ride it, so we'll have to see. Again, check my community tab on my channel here, and I'll try to post some pictures of, or I will post pictures of my trip, but hopefully of that if I can ride it. Here's hoping. But I am, excited to revisit Haunted Mansion and just ride that ride again. But I don't know, man. I feel like they had a great opportunity to have some cool stuff, and then they kind of borked it up with the Florida version. But they also have, the Phantom Manor, which is kind of like a twist or like a variation on the Haunted Mansion with this crazy magical monkey or whatever. I think his name's Abu or something. I don't know. I think that's the monkey from Aladdin, but whatever. I think it is really cool. They're able to kind of go to the different parks, and each park has like a slightly different variation of a ride. That's kind of dope. I've only been to Florida Disney World. I have not been to Disneyland yet. That is on the bucket list of franchise fanatics, so hopefully I can get there at one point, at least just for a little while. But I think it's cool. Each Disney ride really does have like a lot of lore. If you were like, ride Journey into Imagination with Figment, right? Figment, the little purple dragon, he's got like a fudge ton of canon and lore in like comic books from Marvel. There's a whole bunch. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is actually getting a refurbishment now, so I'm not going to be able to ride it sadly this year because, why would I? But I think it's really cool that they're actually, there's comics on Big Thunder Mountain, there's a lot of these lore things that many people just completely skip over. I'm a massive Disney guy. I'm not a huge fan of some of the politics they've been doing recently, but in terms of, when Disney wants to make a good-ass movie, they can make a good movie. Disney World is incredible. It's literally heaven on earth for me. I know that sounds weird, but I don't know. It is what it is. But I want to get married there. I want to, it's a fun place. But yeah, I think that going there is really cool. And, riding these rides, it isn't just a simple, oh, that was fun, ghosts or pirates or whatever, Space Mountain, right? There is environmental storytelling and world building that if you're really paying attention when you're riding these things, or do some research or read a book or whatever, you really, really, really add to the lore and to the effect of the ride, which is pretty sick. I'm all for that. And the Hatbox Ghost was a great effing addition. They just happened to put it in the wrong place. But tell me down below in the comments what you think about the Haunted Mansion ride. What's your favorite Haunted Mansion film? The 2003 version, the newer version. Obviously, I'm going to have to say the newer version. I don't hate the old one, but the newer one's better. But yeah, I love that ride. I think it's a fantastic ride. And, I think if you've ridden it, tell me down below in the comments what you think about the Hatbox Ghost placement. Are you happy with it? Are you not happy with it? And what did you think about the lore of the Haunted Mansion upon you, kind of what I talked about in this video? Because I think it's really interesting. Again, not a lot of people give it much thought probably or even really care. But for the people that do, like me, or, presumably you watching this video, it is kind of cool that you can think about it and go, oh yeah, this isn't just a dumb ride where, pirates move or ghosts swing on chandeliers, right? There's an actual narrative storytelling to this, and I think it's actually pretty sick. But yeah, tell me down below in the comments what you think about all this Haunted Mansion stuff. What's your favorite version of the Haunted Mansion? If you've been to Disneyland, Disney World, Shanghai, wherever, France, wherever they have the other rides. But yeah, let's talk anything Haunted Mansion and Disney rides down in the comments below. If you want me to do more videos about specific rides, Pirates of the Caribbean, Splash Mountain, whatever, maybe I could do some reaction videos to the rides and kind of give my input on my favorite parts of them. Whatever you want me to do, tell me in the comments down below. And when I get back from Florida, whenever I'm posting this, I will make those videos and shout you out. So it'll be a fun time. I want to try to cover more Disney park content content on the channel, because it is a franchise, and it is, you know, I'm not super duper enthralled with some of their politics, but I think Disney as a whole, I love most of their movies, I love their park, and I think that the whole experience of Disney World is pretty freaking cool. So yeah, I'd love to talk more about it and react to videos or whatever. So yeah, give me some ideas. What do you want to see? And I'll make these videos when I come back. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.